Nothing changes.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Sunday, November 15th, 2020. And I want to talk about something that is a pretty sensitive topic. It could potentially get this YouTube video removed or demonetized, which is fine if it does. I hope it doesn't, at least not get removed. But it's about insensitive materials being sold on eBay, Amazon, and other platforms. So I've talked about in the past when we had an update when there were a few items removed from the platforms like the Washington Redskins items and the Aunt Jemima items and other Mammy items. So I want to discuss this kind of in depth, and I want to, walk a fine line here because this is a subject that really, really ignites a fire under a lot of people. If you're a part of my Facebook group, you know that whenever this topic comes up, somebody finds an item out in a thrift store or an item at an estate sale that's, related to one of these topics, they post in my Facebook group. It gets like literally 500 comments in an hour, not even exaggerating. It had like 800 yesterday. So I want to discuss this, and I want to go over a few points, and I want everyone to have an open mind while I discuss this, and I want everyone to know when you comment below to be respectful to myself and to anyone else who you might be responding to or responds to you in the comment section. I do want you guys to comment and leave me some opinions because there's a few questions I'm going to ask, and I also want you guys to not be afraid to leave those comments. So let's discuss it, and I want this video to be from a reseller's outlook because this is a reselling channel, and so we're going to cover that, and then I'll give you a few of my thoughts moving forward. First and foremost is you cannot sell these items on eBay, Amazon, and pretty much most of the platforms. Even if you see them for sale, it's because other people are getting away with it. They're breaking the policies. You can lose your account. That goes for things from the Washington Redskins. Obviously found offensive to Native Americans. An overwhelming majority of Native Americans said that the name was offensive, and they removed that name. The team is now called is it just the Washington football team? Is that what they're called? So Redskins items cannot be sold on pretty much every platform. Somebody correct me if there's one that didn't ban it, but I think they all did. Mammy items. If you don't know what a mammy is, please go Google it, learn something, educate yourself today. It's obviously from the 1800s/1900s. It was an old-time African-American maid, like a housemaid for children. She nursed children, took care of children, did housework, cooking, cleaning. Think late 1800s slavery, early 1900s. So that's where that came from. You might see them in my Facebook group all the time. People find like flour jars and cookie jars and salt and pepper shakers. They come up all the time. Also, obviously, Nazi stuff, no brainer there. And then several other things, the Confederate flag from like the General Lee, the Dukes of Hazzard. I believe the flag from Mississippi came up. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong there. A lot of the flags and monuments were in front of colleges and state houses. In fact, some of the songs like the Eyes of Texas Are On You, the Running Rebels, all kinds of different things that I could just keep going on and on. And here's the thing, you can't sell any of this stuff related to this merchandise. It's just not gonna get through, you'll lose your account. First, it's not worth losing your account. That goes without saying, right? Secondly, it is offensive to a lot of people, and this is where I want to transition kind of not away from the reselling, but to give you an idea of my thoughts on this. It's offensive to a lot of people, and there's going to be some people that comment and go, people need to stop being so sensitive, it's history, it's all of this. And so here's my response to this. Everyone's been asking me for like an official response, and it's not my job to determine any of this. I'm not eBay, I'm not the platforms, I'm not the moral police, I'm none of this. So, it is true. If the Confederate flag or a mammy or something from 1930s Germany is offensive to someone, you don't get to decide that. If I'm offended that you wear a blue shirt or Nike, that's my prerogative. I'm allowed to be offended or think that you are insensitive or whatever, or immoral, selling that item, or even having that item, or wearing it, or displaying it, or whatever the case might be. You and I don't get to decide what somebody else's feelings are. And I think that's kind of a problem in this country around the entire pizza pie, not just with insensitive slavery items or Confederate flags or Nazi items or whatever, with everything in general. None of us have any sort of compassion for other people's feelings. You know, it goes with an election. You voted for Joe Biden and you voted for Donald Trump, and you both have the right to vote for who you want and have your opinions on it. But it doesn't give you the right to attack somebody else simply because they don't agree with you. If you're offended by a Mammy cookie jar and I think that it's Black Americana collectible, like some people may think, then they have the right to think that. It's not illegal to collect it or buy it or sell it, and it's not illegal for you to think it's immoral or offensive. That's allowed. What's not okay is when you guys attack each other. And that's why don't post any of this stuff in my Facebook group. I'm just going to delete it. And just as a side note, if you guys see it in my Facebook group, please report it and tell me. But don't attack me because I allowed it. I don't allow things to be posted. Somebody posts it and I have to be told to take it down or report it. And sometimes I'm not at my phone for an hour or 2 hours and these things blow up. I know, it's amazing. I'm not at my phone for an hour or two. I get in the shower. I go, get out of the shower, walk into the kitchen and get some food. And then I walk and sit down with Kate and have a talk about accounting and watch TV for a few minutes. And then I go back to my phone. Isn't it incredible? I do get alerts on my watch, but it's not like I'm checking Facebook on my watch, right? So please just let me know and don't think that I'm just allowing things to happen. I haven't seen it yet. Or if I've seen it and there's 500 comments, it's going to take me a minute to scroll through. I'm not going to read all 500, but I have to look and see what's going on. And then I try to give people a opportunity to see like, hey, don't post this stuff. I don't want to block you. Be respectful, blah, blah, blah. And so it does take a little while sometimes to come down. So just keep that in mind. Anyways, back to the subject at hand. It's not up to me to decide what you can and can't sell. The platforms have done that. If you decide to sell this locally, a Facebook or a Craigslist or where, what have you, or in a yard sale or on the down low, that is your prerogative and your choice, and we can't stop you. And no matter what we think of you immorally or insensitively or whatever, that is your right. And just like it's our right to think it's bad or their right to think, or whomever to think that it's insensitive, it's all a right. We live in a free country, and that's just the way it is. We don't have the right to attack somebody over a disagreement of opinion. So please keep that in mind. Be sensitive to your fellow human. Even if they're not being sensitive to your feelings and they're selling something, you're not going to change their mind, right? You're not going to change their mind. So why fight it? It's just a waste of your time, your breath, and your resources. Work on something positive. Don't worry about what they're doing, right? It's kind of the best advice that I can give you guys. It's tough, but it's the best advice. And that comes down to, all of this stuff. People have this conversation with the monuments, sitting outside of state houses and capitol buildings and museums and things like that. Don't destroy monuments and throw them in the river. Just because you don't agree with them doesn't give you the right to cause damage and commit crimes. Go about it the correct way. If these things are offensive, let's take them down. Let's take them down properly, like some of them have been, remove them, and put them in a museum or in a warehouse or somewhere else. I understand that people don't like to see these items in places that they have to travel in public, like a college or a state house or places that they go past or a courthouse or whatever it is. But if they're in a museum or a warehouse, then they're only going to be seen by people that want to see them, a collector or a historian or something like that, a curator. When they're out in public, you have to see them, and that's kind of forcing that on people. So I kind of get that, but it doesn't give us the right, again, to just destroy the stuff. And some people will disagree with that, but it doesn't. Go about it the right way. Let's petition your lawmakers. Let's do whatever you have to do. And that's what happened on eBay. People petitioned eBay and Amazon, not officially, but they went in there and said, hey, it's really not a good look to have Confederate flags and Mammy cookie jars and things like that on the platform. I think we should go ahead and remove it. And as a business, from a business standpoint, especially eBay, who services millions and millions of customers, it's not a good look. Millions of people were offended by this merchandise appearing on the website, and eBay made a business decision to say, hey, whatever little bits of money that we make off of this merchandise, it's not a lot. There's not millions of these things selling a day. They're not making tons of money. They make a decent amount, but not off of that stuff. It's not worth that to be hurtful in their eyes to millions of our customers. And I kind of adopt that same mindset of, I have a box. It's sitting here. Let me show you guys. It's sitting over there by the door. Do you see it? It's kind of right there. That box is actually full of things that we got at the beginning of the year before all of this kind of broke out. Some Washington Redskins hoodies and sweaters and a shirt and a hat, I believe, that we got before they even banned the name. A couple of Dukes of Hazzard and Dixie things with the Confederate flag on the shirts that we got months ago. I think we got them out of the tractor trailer in July or August. And a few other random assorted things that were probably a little controversial for eBay that we can't list. And I wouldn't list them. I'm not going to list them. They're going to stay in that box boxed up. I don't really know what to do with them because the next question I get all the time is, if I have any of this merchandise, what do I do with it? Now, I didn't buy this stuff directly. I bought it in bulk, obviously, the tractor trailer, the pallets, the boxes that I get. We didn't even know it was in there, literally. I haven't bought any of it just like at a thrift store, like, whoop, grab it. In fact, you'll find a lot of this at thrift stores, people picking up Redskin stuff all the time. What should you do if you come across this merchandise? If you see it at a thrift store, I'd probably leave it alone. It's not worth your time or effort to buy it and try to sell it. It's just too difficult, just leave it. If you have it in a pallet or bulk deals or you already have some of it, I can't tell you what to do with it. I can tell you don't list it and sell it on the platforms. If you choose to sell it at a yard sale or a local site, that's on you. I'm not going to do that. Our stuff is boxed up. Some people have told me to trash it. Some people have told me to donate it. Donating it feels like I'm just putting it right back into rotation, right? I don't know. Honestly, it's just going to go with us to the new house in that box. I don't know. You know, it'll sit out in the garage. I don't know what I should necessarily do with that merchandise. I don't know. I haven't decided, and that's why it's been sitting there. If you guys have an opinion, a respectful opinion, please put it down in the comment section and I'll take some of it into account. You know, it's probably 20 or 30 pieces. It might be a couple $100, $300, $400 worth of stuff. Not worth it to me to list it. It's just not worth the headache and the outrage and the losing the account and all this stuff. It's just material. It's just widgets to me. It's inventory, whatever. But yeah, I'd be interested in what you guys think I should do with it. So that's where I'm going to leave you guys with. Please be compassionate in the comments. Don't attack each other. I'll delete them and block you. Don't post it all over Facebook. Just please be respectful and understand that there are other people who are not the same as us or the same as me or the same as you or the same as them. They are, you know, offended by things that you and I might be okay with, or they're okay with things that might be offensive to us. Everyone's different and everyone's entitled to their opinion and, you know, to like or not like whatever they want. It's not illegal. So we have to, as a community, come together and not attack someone because their opinion is different than ours. Just kind of the way it goes. And on top of that, you can't sell the stuff anyway, so don't. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow on Monday. It'll be November 16th, 2020. It's a tough subject and a tough video to make, and hopefully you guys appreciate the effort that I put in to be sensitive to everyone and kind of just, you know, my thoughts on it. And please be respectful of my Facebook group and my YouTube channel and don't blow it up like you guys did earlier yesterday and today with that post. All right, have a wonderful night, guys. I respect and love all of you guys. I respect your opinions. I listen to them. I take them into account. And I try to do the best I can on this channel, especially from a reseller's point of view. Have a great Sunday night, guys.